Yes. All right. The Ocala, Florida Real Estate Channel. Glenn Stein, Realty Executives here, located on Silver Springs Boulevard. Many of you know that I've been the broker here since we started this company back in 2004, in business for 18 years. And one of my favorite things is really to educate and inform and teach. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about couple of scary things about the Ocala, Florida real estate market. I'm seeing a lot of trends around Florida that are very similar to what we're going to see today. We're going to talk about inventory. We're going to talk about where we think the market is going. We're going to talk about what we're seeing as far as affordability and what we're seeing currently last 7 days. So if we start with this, if we start looking at this, like inventory nationwide is still historically low. That's what this chart basically says. If you start looking at this, like it's still low. Yes, inventory has gone up, but the inventory level is still pretty darn low. And in fact, if you look at if you start looking at the numbers for Marion County, we're looking at 2115 is the number of properties that are available. So we've seen a incredible increase in inventory actually second quarter, and obviously we're in third quarter of 2022 in September. But sharp increase in inventory, a little bit of a decrease in demand, and that's a little scary. And probably one of the scariest things is going to be the affordability factor. Like the affordability factor is really one of those things that I watch out for. And if we look at the nationwide number for affordability, it's at the lowest it's ever been in the last, let's see, 1990, we're talking about 30 plus years. And it's lower than 2006, where we had an incredible run in pricing, where the prices went up dramatically. And we've seen, obviously, the last 2 years, we've seen a dramatic run in pricing as well. So, and the interest rates combined with that, the interest rates obviously higher now than what they were. We're now in the upper 5s, 6s range. It's kind of like depending on your credit and that type of thing. But the affordability factor nationwide is at its lowest. So if you get affordability low and you get inventory low, it's kind of a mixed bag. So you got two forces that are pulling against each other or pushing against each other. It depends on how you look at it. And that's why we can't figure out, or that you can come up with a case that it's a seller's market and a buyer's market. So it's really both. And I guess that might be a good thing, because the inventory levels are helping buoy the market so we don't see a crash. The difference between now and what we saw back in this period, where affordability went this way, but also values went down dramatically, is that we're seeing some demand. Demand is still a little bit better than what we saw back here, but we're also seeing inventory. The inventory number is dramatically lower. Back at this point here, the 2009-10 period, inventory levels rose to like 7,000-8,000 properties on the market, and we would see 3 years worth of inventory. It would take 3 years for all the homes to sell based on that particular current demand. Right now, we're seeing a couple of months supply of inventory, not a couple of years or several years in that case. So that's the difference. We got to pay attention to inventory numbers, because inventory numbers will tell us everything. And right now we're at 2115 for Marion County, Ocala, Florida. And that's obviously Denellen, Ocala, Bellevue, Summerfield areas. And we've seen some drops in pricing, so that I think that's not necessarily scary. It's not sharp decreases. We're not seeing half off, but a little bit of a decrease in pricing. Yet we're seeing pretty good demand at the same time. It's not fabulous demand, but I would say it's pretty good demand. And so let's take a look at one thing that really kind of tells us this. So let's look at the 7-day numbers. This is Marion County 7-day numbers. 275 homes came on the market the last 7 days. We've seen 20 price increases, 238 price decreases. So that's a little scary. I mean, a lot of price decreases. So people making a move and just, okay, I got to lower the price of my home. 58 back on the market, 152 properties sold. So that's essentially, that is how many properties closed. 152 properties closed during this time. 9 expired. So 152 in the first week of September, which is actually an okay number. It's not a fabulous number, but it's okay number because it's the first week of September, when we know that closings are typically are at the end of the month a lot of times, okay, for a couple of different reasons. So that is actually something really to look at. And then of course the last number we want to look at is 219 pending properties, or 219 properties that went under contract. So you're looking at 275, 219. That's a discrepancy, meaning that the inventory grew in the last 7 days because we saw more, probably about 65 different properties, more came on the market than left the market, meaning going under contract, aka sold. So if you have, by the way, we do property management here. We've had a couple of questions about this, property management and rentals. We do that here in the Ocala office as well as the Village's office. So if you need anything like that, we have a few rentals available. And of course, we are looking for more inventory for people that do want to rent out their home. So 352-624-2333 is our number. My personal number is 352-572-3796. And leave your comments. Please like the video if you liked it. And please subscribe. That would be absolutely fabulous. That would mean a ton to me. So I hope everybody just has an absolutely fabulous weekend.